Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is a first in a series of conversations we will be having with people in our community that have lived experience. Today, we're going to be talking with Ashleigh. The series is just for people to share their experience and their thoughts about issues affecting people with mental illness, substance use issues, and experiencing homelessness. So we're glad that you're here today. Myself, I am Christine Naylar. I am the co-founder and director of Ryan's Hope. Ryan's Hope is an organization that my husband and I started in memory of our son, Ryan Naylar. And our mission is to support people living with mental illness, substance use issues, and experiencing homelessness, and to advocate. And one of the ways we advocate is by sharing real life stories with people. So we're excited for this series, and we're excited to have Ashleigh here to speak with us today and to share a little bit of about her life experience and her story. So welcome, Ashleigh.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I've been a part of Ryan's Hope since we started it. So I guess I'm gonna start with my story. Can you hear me okay like this? I want to make sure I got the
I
right.
can, yeah.
Okay. Okay, a little bit easier to hear myself like this. So just bear with me while I get through this. I'm gonna be reading mostly. I suffer with my own mental health issues, so this is a little difficult. So I'll just jump right in. Okay,
All right.
so I grew up in a government housing where a lot of people were struggling and used drugs and alcohol to cope. My house was always the house that felt like home, and we tried to be there for whoever needed us. My family had their own struggles though, and I grew up with those challenges. I knew how to take care of a hangover before I was 10. I've been to the police station and gotten a couple police bears. Those are stuffed animals kept at the police station and given out to kids to help them feel better. I've taken care of my babysitters, then put myself to bed. I've watched my favorite cousins start to disappear from family gatherings and start showing up to others with a black eye. I grew up with people who wanted more and wanted better, but couldn't get there themselves. So that pressure was placed on me. I was constantly told I have to be the one who does it right. I'm the one that has to figure out how to live with nothing but bad examples and what not to do. Told I have to be the one who graduates, who does it right. So that's what I did. I did everything I could to be what everyone else wanted me to be. I became a people pleaser, fading into everyone else's lives, trying to make their life easier because that's what I do. I want people to be loved and validated. After I graduated high school and spent a lot of time working on myself, I realized the people in my life taught me at a very young age that love is the most important weapon in the fight against drug abuse and mental health issues. As I've grown up, I've had my own experiences, made some of my own mistakes, and gotten pretty lost. Though the entire time, I felt I've been on a mission to bring love and balance back to our lives, back to this world. After losing a close friend, Christine, from suicide, she was like a sister to me, and a childhood friend, Joey, from overdose, he was like a brother to me. Watching my cousin that I adore struggle so hard to fight and struggle so hard to get to where he is today. And then Ryan, my mission found direction. Losing Ryan was an impact I can't describe. I truly thought he was going to beat this. Ryan had so much passion, it vibrated off of him. He was one of the kindest souls and so smart, too smart, and too kind. This world broke his spirit and he turned to drugs, which later revealed more issues. Ryan could have been saved. They all could have. The programs put in place to help those in need refused to help. In the months leading up to the news that shattered our hearts, I had hope for Ryan. I could see his passion through the hurt and the anger. We were communicating about how we can use music to change the world. We had a plan. The universe clearly had other plans, and I know Ryan is working with us to help make this program a success. We will be here, being a light for those who need it. We don't have a drug problem. We have a compassion, therefore a lack of compassion, and a lack of community problem. Ryan's Hope is here to change that. Thank you for letting me tell my story.
Well, thank you, Ashleigh, for sharing those struggles. That's really hard, and that's a lot of pressure to be put on someone at such a young age to be taking care of other people and stuff like that. So can you maybe share a little bit about how that affected you, like later in life? You were talking a little bit about people pleasing and stuff like that. So how did it affect your own mental health?
It affected my own mental health in the sense that I believe that it was all on me. It was all on me to fix things, to make it right, whatever it was. I took the burdens and pressures of everyone around me, family, friends, anyone, and I just wanted to make things better for them. So that's where my people pleasing tendencies came in, because I felt I could. And I did. There's certain times, there's certain people that I did help and that I was there, but I wasn't putting myself in the equation at all. Um, it's it really affected me in the sense of I didn't know what I wanted or what I was to do. All I knew was I wanted to help. And once I really spent some time figuring that out, it kind of all just clicked that it's who I am. I want to help. I want to heal. I want to be here and be a light for those who have lost the will to burn. And once I connected those dots and realized that it wasn't just what was being put on me, it's who I am, and started thinking of myself in that equation too, everything kind of changed. And that's where I say, like, and then after losing, Ryan and Joey and Christine, I really found the direction for this passion. And I still have a lot of work to do with my own mental health. But being a part of Ryan's Hope and being able to find that direction and put that passion and that will to help somewhere productive, where it's also paying attention to everybody and building a community, has really helped with my mental health and figure that out. I hope I answered your question in that.
Yeah. So a little bit. So obviously, that the reason we started Ryan's Hope was because of watching Ryan struggle in the community and not being able to get the help he needed, and having this whole support network around him, and still he lost his struggle. So thinking about the people that don't have that support network, right? And that's kind of what Ryan's hopes to be. And when you're a nurturer, when you're a type of person that's born to help, you can't help but want to save everybody and help them and be there for how those traumas of those losses have affected you and the work that you do. Do you find that sometimes it makes it harder to be putting yourself out there and getting involved and connected with other people that are struggling, or does it make you want to do it more?
I would say mostly more, but a little bit of both, just because the people that I lost, uh, you can't really put into words how it feels to never be able to see them again or talk to them or have them be a part of the change. Um, it's just undescribable. But my best way is to put those feelings and um, yeah, those feelings towards something that's actually going to make a difference. So I try to use it to fuel my passion to keep going instead of getting angry and putting some more anger out into this world. We all know there's enough of it. I try to focus that energy into ways of making things more positive and productive and use it to push this change. Meeting new people, honestly, that redoes it too, makes me want to do it more. Hearing their stories, hearing how they didn't get there by choice. Like, this can literally happen to anybody. Anybody could end up homeless. Anybody could end up struggling like this. And that narrative that it's only one type of people or one group of people is just so wrong. So when I hear other people's stories and I'm connecting and meeting new people, and can't wait to connect and meet with more people in all of this, because building that community and being there for each other and able to share these heart-wrenching stories and cry together and just be there for each other is what's missing. That support, that community is what's missing, is what's needed. So that's kind of what drives me to keep going, and know that the people that I've lost, you know, they're here through me in a sense, and I just try to stay on that side of things, to try and help heal people and heal the world.
And you are, and we're glad to have you as part of our Ryan's Hope team. And one of the things that we really value at Ryan's Hope is lived experience. It's what people have been through, and so we try to let people know that there's nothing that you've gone through that is like a mistake that you have to be ashamed of, because I think that that's what keeps people in hiding, and it keeps people from connecting with each other and building community. And it's why we haven't solved any of these issues now, because we don't really treat them as human issues, because there's so much stigma around them that people are disconnected from these issues. And so if we can use our life experience to help someone else, I think that's a powerful tool. Can you talk about maybe how in what you've been doing as an advocate or working with Ryan's Hope and meeting people, sharing your life story has helped somebody else, or it's helped bridge a connection?
Like, you're wanting an example while I've been doing the work?
Like, just saying, like, has you sharing your story helped you form a connection with someone or trust? Because a lot of the people that maybe have gone through these issues, they have walls up, right? And maybe one of the ways to break those walls down is by connecting on a human level. And how do we connect with each other without sharing our life stories?
Yeah. No, very, very true, very true. That's why I agreed to do this. I've This is actually the first time that I have fully actually sat down and gave myself the time to figure out my story and why I'm here, why I'm a part of Ryan's Hope, why I do what I do. Like, I always knew, but to actually sit down and put it in writing and go through, like, I have rough copies, everything like that. This is the first time I've actually done that. So I just hope that I get a chance to share my story more often, and the people that I do meet while I'm out doing this work. Um, if anyone who wants to hear, I am more than happy to share my story, and I hope to be able to share it with more people and know that there's people who out here that care and want to be here and want to make a change, and we won't judge, like, your story is your story. No one can change it. No one can manipulate it. No one can take that away from you. And I think that's a really big power tool that we have in building these relationships and building community and building support, is sharing our vulnerabilities with each other and showing everyone that we're all human. We all have feelings. We all got stories. We all got shit. We all got stuff that we got to deal with. And the more of us that are real about that, and the more of us that share that and show that, the stronger we're going to be as a community, the stronger we're going to be as a society, the stronger we're going to be as individuals. Like, so I haven't had the chance to fully say my story to any of the people that I work with yet, but I hope after this that I will get that opportunity.
I just want to thank you for being the first person to be a part of this series and to speak with us, because it takes a lot of courage to share painful experiences that you have been through. And I know myself from sharing Ryan's story and the experience that we went through trying to get him help over the several years and stuff. It's hard. And every time you share your story, it's like reliving that trauma, and it's not easy to do. So we thank you for being here and talking with us. But I also know that it's powerful, and change comes from actually being real And that's the only way we're going to bring change. And it's the way we build connection. And that's all what Ryan's hopes is about, is building community, connection, and confidence. And so the community is everyone coming together and letting people know that they're loved and valued. And the connection is those one-on-one, where you're able to actually share your story with someone and trust that, you know, they're going to take it in a good way and they're going to value it. And, you know, maybe it's going to bring you closer together or build a new level of trust. And then the confidence is being able to say, like, yeah, I don't have to be ashamed of my story. I can share it. And my story is a gift to someone else that maybe can be used as part of their healing, you know? And so I think that's wonderful. And that's what we're trying to do with this series and with the work that we do. And so I thank you for wanting to be a part of it and continuing to be on this journey. Is there anything that you would want to say to people that maybe are younger and we're at that place that you were at, where maybe they are feeling the weight of having to be the responsible one when, you know, maybe they shouldn't have to be, or whatever, and what you learned from that? And
all I want to say is, if there's anybody out there feeling like that, is, one, you're not alone. You'll find some people who will actually relate and understand to you along your journey. Two, it's okay to think of yourself. It's okay to take care of yourself first. One of my favorite things I actually learned doing all of this is, let me see if I can find my little note. Sorry, give me 1 second. I have a bunch of little sticky notes everywhere again. Okay, so the giving up control has made me feel more in control of my life. So not feeling that pressure from everybody else, and that pressure because you see how things are not supposed to be, but you see how you can help. You see the missing link, you see where the conflict is. You don't have to fix it just because you see it. Sometimes not doing anything is what is needed. That's how you help the best that you can. So my biggest advice would be, really put yourself in the equation. Stop taking yourself out of the equation when you're helping and you're healing people and you're feeling that weight of the world. Make sure you're taking care of yourself too. And I promise you, your effect will be so much bigger and greater. You matter too. Just because you care, just because you can see the issues, just because you understand, doesn't mean you have to take it. Doesn't mean you have to take the disrespect. Doesn't mean you have to fix everything. Doesn't mean that everything comes down to you. Let other people have responsibility of their actions. It's not all on you. That's like my biggest thing I want to say to anybody that has felt the way that I felt and described in here, is make sure you're thinking of yourself too. It's not all on you. As much as it feels that it is, it's not. You got to take care of you, and you will heal, and the light that vibrates off of you after doing that, and taking yourself into consideration too, is so much grander and bigger and more powerful than what you were doing before. I'm proof. Just try to believe me.
great advice. I really believe that in the put your own oxygen mask on first, you know, because we can't help other people if we're not in a good space ourselves. So that's really, really important. And setting boundaries is okay. And yeah, you're setting an example for other people. When you love yourself, when you care for yourself, you're showing other people how to do it, because a lot of the people maybe that have had experience with mental health and substance use and have had traumatic experiences in their life, they don't feel much self-love, right? And so maybe they need examples of what that looks like, and to be let known that it's okay to love yourself, right? And you're worth it.
Yeah, and look for it, because there's a lot of people, like, something that really helped me was the amount of people that share their stories online and share their struggles, and just that, like, the community is out there. Give yourself a chance to find it.
Mm-hmm. And that's really important, I think, is really seeing these issues as not something to be ashamed of, something that is part of the human experience, and that we all go through struggles. We just maybe we're too afraid or embarrassed to share those experiences. But when we do, it opens doors of communication. It opens doors for healing and connection. And it's such a powerful thing to do.
It really is. I can feel it.
Yeah. So is there anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, just kind of looking at all my little notes here, I'm like, the only thing I think I got that would be like a pretty good closer right now is the one my eyes just landed on there is, you're not like everybody else. So don't act like everybody else.
Yeah.
As in the sense of be your individual self, be who you are. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't act like everybody else. That's not who you are. You're you. Be you.
I think that's good advice, because I think maybe a lot of our struggles comes from trying to fit in instead of
Hmm.
just being who we are. And so
Trying to
if we're
fit in these
comfortable,
boxes.
mhm. So that's great advice. And thank you for making the time to speak with us today. And I just want to let you know that sharing our stories actually does change the world. And so I believe in this, and I thank you for being a part of this series. So thank
Thanks
you.
so much for having me. I'm really, really happy and proud to being able to do this.